Hello ladies and gents, welcome back to another old school video. I've still been PvMing on my main account while playing the Hardcore Iron Man on the side, and I've been having a lot of fun, mainly because I've finally been getting rewarded for PvMing. In the last video I said it was the luckiest day ever because I got a bunch of semi-decent rewards, and we done Corp and I got like Onyx bolts twice, which I know people pointed out that isn't actually that lucky. It's a 1 in 26 drop. But then a few days later I got back to PvMing with the clan chat and things went pretty well. So in this raid right now you can see that we're sort of struggling to do the final boss. We're on the very final stage of Ohm, and that's because only like 3 of 6 of us, there were 6 of us in the party, and only about 3 of us had done raids before, so we were sort of teaching the new guys who weren't max combat level how to do the raid, and obviously dying a lot at Ohm because I didn't really know the mechanics to dodge the crystals and things like that. Personally I've been getting a lot better at raiding, even though my stats are like pretty average. I've only got like 90 melee stats, 90 range, like 87 mage, so by no means max combat, but I still managed to keep most of the points in the raid party. Me and someone else typically have the most points in raid, while everyone else like keeps dying a lot, so like the majority of points are made up by the 3 of us, while the other 3 don't really have any points and so they keep suiciding. So we finally kill him after like an hour of just being on Ohm. You can see the 2-hour timer down there, and my Chamber of Zedek kill count is now 1 because they updated it, so we have a kill count, and I get a Torn Prayer Scroll, which at the time I think this was on the day of the Torn Prayer Scroll release, where it's just a prayer scroll that unlocks the worst prayer, the one that extends your boosted stats. I forgot the name of it, but that's the worst one out of the 3. And at the time I didn't know that, and I was just like, did I just get something good? And I was really like excited a little bit, but then eventually I price check it and realised that it's only worth 5 mil. I then went to try and sell it for 5 mil, didn't sell for even 3 mil, so I decided, okay, screw it, I'm just going to keep it, unlock it for myself. You might be asking, why didn't I sell it to split it? A, because it isn't really worth a lot. It didn't sell for 3 mil. I doubt it would have sold for even 2 mil. Not many people give a shit about this prayer. And because at the start of the raid we always agree on a rule for splitting, and if it's worth 6 mil or over we'll split it, and then if it's worth less than that we won't split it because there's 6 people in the party, and if we get a reward that's a 1 mil split each it's worth it, but less than that whoever gets the reward gets to keep it. So yeah, I just ended up activating it, so I have unlocked 1 of 3 of the new prayers. I can't imagine I'll have any of the 2 new ones anytime soon, Rigor and Aubrey I think they're called. So even though the Torn Prayer Scroll is a common reward from raids, I think it's like a 1 in 10 drop or something crazy, it finally felt good to be rewarded from doing raids, because I think that was like my 5th raid or something in Dole and never got anything before that, so finally unlocking a new prayer, new content. Feels good, man, even though it's worthless. We done another raid the next night, and because this time it's roughly the same party, people know what they're doing this time, we knocked 30 minutes of our total time off. So that's hopefully next time after this it'll be 30 minutes less in raids, where it'll only take us an hour a piece because that's like the average time. After we were done with raiding, 4 of us decided to go to Corp to just sort of AFK kill a boss and hope for some decent loot. It turns out this was the worst trip we had ever done to date. We got, I think, like literally about 10 drops of tuna potato, we got about 5 drops of admin arrows, we got nothing good. It was an incredibly awful trip. So I said to the guys, this is going to be my last kill, we've had nothing, I'm going to bed, it's really late. Then we kill it and we get a decent drop, a spectral sigil. Holy shit.
Oh my, yeah, boys. Oh my god, you got
the best trip ever. The best trip ever.
So we were pretty happy. It's like a 10 mil split. Unfortunately, the spectral sigil is the worst of the 3, the least valuable. The arcane sigil has the exact same drop chance and is worth like 30 mil more. And obviously the Elysian being the best, but that's a little bit rarer. But regardless of that, we were still pretty happy because, like I said, it was the worst trip. If we didn't get a sigil, it would have been like a 100k split for about 40 to 1 hour's worth of doing Corp. That's how bad it was, but then obviously getting a 10 mil split reward is very rewarding and we were all very happy with it. So this session of doing Corp has been the best reward I've had from doing anything PvM related. Obviously been doing raids, got a Torn Prayer Scroll, but that's not really valuable. It's just cool to unlock a new prayer. But then to actually get something that's worth like 40 mil that was split between the 4 of us, I didn't get the drop, someone else did, but you know, we were teamed together. It's a very rewarding feeling to get traded a green cash stack after doing a trip at a boss, and it is a pretty cool feeling. I think the closest I've come to that before was doing Bandos with someone else doing it, and I got a Bandos chestplate drop on my first kill count, but then that turned out to be like a 6 mil split. Doing Corp and getting that sigil has been the best reward I've had from PvM, and I've been doing like bossing and stuff like that a lot more recently. It's been incredibly fun, and You can see in the clip that we're doing another corp run after getting that, because I said it was the last one, but they suggested that just try and get a back-to-back sigil. Didn't really work out. We got we got 2,500 pure essence, so wasn't really worth going back in the end. So after doing a lot more PvM recently, I've had enough money to finally buy both a Torture and Primordial boots, which are best in slot for melee combat. I've been doing a lot more Slayer recently, especially with the Primordial boots, and a lot of people just like, people get offended that I have Primordial boots over Tassets when the difference isn't really that significant. A Vanax plate skirt to a pair of Tassets is like a side grade. You sacrifice defense and prayer for more strength with the Tassets, but from Dragon boots to Primordial boots, that's like a direct upgrade. And the difference isn't really all that insane. Tassets plus Dragon boots is only like a +1 strength compared to Primordials and Vanax skirt. The difference is only +1 strength, and you get more defense and attack bonus with the Primordials plus Vanax. So there isn't really that big of a difference from Tassets to Primordials when deciding which one you want to buy first. But people actually got offended, and I had to I had to start ignoring people because they were just flaming me for having Primordials before Tassets, which is pretty funny. So the main account is finally coming along. We're finally starting to get best in slot gear after having the account since Old School came out, which is pretty funny, but feels good to finally start doing high-end PvM and getting high-end gear and things like that, and doing end-game content like raids, corp, God Wars bosses, things like that. It's pretty awesome, feels good, and very rewarding. After doing PvM, being rewarded with decent stuff that you can sell to then buy better gear is, yeah, it's definitely rewarding, and so that's why I've made this video, finally being rewarded from PvM, because I have finally been rewarded from doing PvM, and now I have better gear to continue doing more PvM. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Hopefully I see you next time.
The best trip ever.
Also, before I go, if you're a high level player that wants to do raids but don't really have a clan to do it with, feel free to join the Dicers clan chat, The Fold. We don't do raids every day, but I like to think on the weekends we do it, like maybe 2 or 3 raids on the weekend, and we don't really have a lot of people that actually know how to do them or that are high enough level to do them. So if you are high level and can do raids, feel free to join the clan chat and take part.